in a net brain for the neural navigator system. In the next, our electromyographic system, introduce new feature and improvement. And then we introduce and fix some problem with the previous version compatibility. So I think that you know that when you sell your hospital a new system with the Galileo line 4.2, 4.1, 4.21, and now 4.3, and for example you have an old system in the hospital, you have a big problem with compatibility of the database. You can't open the exam that you are recording with Galileo line 4.3 with if you have, for example, Galileo line 3.9. You have a compatibility problem. And we fix this problem. We release a dedicated patch for Galileo line 3.9. And then I will show you how to manage this situation. In details here, you can find some, I repeat that the main improvement about the database is the GDPR compatibility. And we introduce some feature that now I will show you. Then in Galileo line EGNet, we introduce improved I will read this with you. We improved electric grids management for the DSM application. I don't know if you use in the whole country, in your country, this type of application, but our system can be used for the grid stimulation. When you remove the scalp for the patient and you make the intervent with the brain of the patient, you can use the grid stimulation with a dedicated hardware, and you can recognize the signals and make the stimulation also in exact part of the brain to remove the damage and I don't know I don't know in English. To remove tumor and other injury about the patient. We improve this feature in our software. In fact, we modify the montage head of the genetic software. We introduce other particular management of the montage list and the montage head. So also we introduce the T1 and T2 channels for quality position of the G montage. We introduce, this is for the maps, for example, we introduce the new axis camera. You know that Vidyard in the last years for the video application sells the video run. We use axis company for our video, for example, this. If you see our video camera, you see this type of camera and other types that is very, very similar, but it's changed in this here, the part number of the camera. You think it's the same, but in reality we manage 5 or 6 types of camera, different cameras. And in this new release of Galileo, we introduced the double camera, the double video with the video lamp camera. In the past, we can use the double camera only with the window card. Okay. Now we introduce this possibility with the double camera. Introduce the DSM channel control for this hardware application for the tumor removal of the brain. Mobile LTM 64 cortical mask is also in accordance with the DSM application. And then introduce the possibility to start the video recording during the G acquisition. So some customer has the possibility to start the video recording on demand, not meantime the acquisition. You can start the video G preset. You can start this type of recording, but when the software started and you start recording the system with the red cycle button, you also can specify if you want to start the video on demand, not immediately. Only when the the doctor see it's a particular movement of the patient, it starts the video. It's on demand. We call this type of recording on the fly. You can see the president, the manager on the fly or standard type of video. We will see after. Then we introduce the video EG mode during the Holter recording the BM micro. I don't have now here, but for our device, the BM micro, the Holter EG, we introduce the possibility to recording also the video meantime the BM micro. So image the patient go to the home with our Holter EG, the BM micro, and image that you have a handicap. The patient put this handicap in the commode the home of the patient, and with other device that we developed, we synchronize the video of the handicap with the BM micro EG signal. We developed a dedicated hardware that is under the handicap, and via Bluetooth synchronize the video with the EG. When the patient returns to the hospital to make the download of the Holter EG registration, the software has to download the EG signal from the BM micro and the video signal from this dedicated device. The possibility to manage the two-line camera in the preset, the possibility to introduce the video play function in the browser EG Lite Viewer. So in the past, when you asked me the possibility to create the DVD or CD for the patient or for other doctor, we give you this possibility with the two functions, EG Viewer Lite or EG Advanced Viewer. The Advanced Viewer is the same software that the doctor uses for the recording. The EG Lite Viewer is a dedicated EG viewer that we have developed for the customer, and this type of software don't need that. Sì, una domanda. Sorry. Se arrivo a portare questo, no, mi lascio lui. Ci voglio vedere. Ci deve andare, appunto dicevo, no, direttamente là. So the EG Lite Viewer is a dedicated software for that don't need that you have installed in the system, operating system, Windows system, that type of support. Because our advanced viewer needs the Microsoft Framework tool. If you don't have installed the Microsoft Framework, our software don't work. And also, when you create the whole DVD for the patient, the typical problem is that the doctor or the patient are unable to install the Microsoft Framework, and this is a very, very stupid problem. But it's a big problem for the patient or the doctor that are not very useful to install it by yourself. And for this reason, we introduced this type of software that don't need any type of framework to run. And in this version, we introduced the possibility also to create the video EG Lite Viewer. And it's a little different from the recording video, the recording software, but give you the possibility to see the video, give you the possibility to change the page length, the filters, and all the feature that the doctor asks you to manage in this type of activity. So then we improve the spike detection habit management with the following change, being able to delete the spike event and modify spike event design indicated in which channel was found. So I think that you know that in our software you have the possibility to use the feature about the spike detection. Using the examination that you record, you can use this dedicated feature that is under license. You need to pay to use it. To identify during your examination the spike and seizure detection of the patient. Okay, then we have modified the possibility to manage the virtual channel reference. It's very, very important because some software has yeah.
Another version like a Wi-Fi connection. So it can use like a Wi-Fi connection or can use only LAN.
For the camera, you talk about the camera.
Yes, and the holder also.
No, the holder, the BMI holder is by used cable. Only the cable. But if you want to use the bi-micro with the video feature also, you want to give to the patient the bi-micro and the video, the handicap video to record in the home of the patient. The video synchronization with the bi-micro is made by Bluetooth connection. But when you take this device and you connect the device to the software to download the examination, you need the used cable of the BMI.
So there is a dedicated handycam which even
yes. It's a Howard device. You can't find the same handycam in your car. You need to buy all from email because it's a commercial handicap. We don't produce handicap, but we customize this to this feature. We use the type of scale. I'm sorry, but I don't have to show you. I can show you in some picture in next hour. Okay, so about the maps, this is very, very important feature that has for many years, and we need to use this feature only now in the line for the 3. This possibility give you this feature give you the possibility to modify the reference with the creation of the virtual channel. You can use a media of the channel that you want, and you can use this reference to create a maps refer to the virtual channel.
You're talking about the spike detection.
Yeah.
Is it the in-house product or the same image?
In the past we buy and we develop the spike detection with this image company. We buy the library for the spike detection, and we introduce this library in our software. But to run this spike detection, you need the license of the enable, and also the key, hardware key for the license to enable the image license.
Yeah. Just I want to know whether it is the same one what we are using in order for the same one.
Okay, so about the NetBrain, a new feature, you know that our software introduced the NetBrain examination with our STM 9000 system for the magnetic stimulator. And this magnetic stimulator can connect to the software, typically with the news or the dedicated application about the stimulation with magnetic stimulation. And also the magnetic stimulation can use it for the nerve navigator. This dedicated application is a dedicated system that you can sell in your country to the hospital for the manage some clinical problem of the patient. I don't remember now the correct words in English. Anyway, it is dedicated for is a product dedicated for some particular application. Yes, for therapy application. And you can use our device. Yes, psychiatrical, drugs dependence also. You can use it for, I know that yesterday you go in Siena to see real application in the Siena hospital. Because the company some days. And with the driver, you go to Siena to see interesting application about this system. So this net brain gives you the possibility to take the heritage image of your brain and replicate this type of application in a virtual reality. You have your patient in the seat in front of the system, and with this type of device, you can recognize the position about the magnetic stimulation point, and you can repeat the exact point of this magnetic stimulation when you have this system, and you can create this type of therapy for the patient. You go to stimulate the same exact points of the brain of the patient, and you can repeat this type of therapy. And in the Galileo Life Photo 3, we introduced the tools to display the acquired map trace, because the software, the manipulator give you also the map trace if you want. This is another device dedicated to connect to the STM 9000 device, and to show you the map trace. This map trace, the result of the stimulation, you can see also in the software, and then we give you the possibility to select the multiple items in the stimulus bit for the faster managing. Introduce some other not feature, but user-friendly about the software. We improved the software to give the software some user-friendly for the management. Also has the quality support for heavy neural adventure and enhance coin type.
No, what does it mean? You can use the adventure coil with heavy neural?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see anything about that. The R&D department told me that we need to use this type of stuff. Okay. So then we introduce some feature and improvements in the our imagery software, the next software. Introduce the tools to inside the PMS, inside our database, the possibility to compact the evocated potential signal. So I think that some of you know that in our software introduces some feature that is only our feature, because I know that the other company don't allow you the possibility to refilter and manage the recording that we have done. So when you create an electromagnetic stimulation or evocated potential stimulation, your signal that you're recording is already filtered. You don't record in the raw data. You record in the signal filtered in according to your presence. Okay? You can't modify this filter. You can modify the filter inside your band rate, but you can't destroy whole and recreate your examination. In our software, yes, you can. But this is a little problem, because we record always the raw data. It's very, very big file that you need to manage. And in some installation, we we have this type of problem to manage because some doctors don't want to manage the filter. I make my stimulation, I create my examination. I don't want to repeat and manage again. I finish. For this reason, we introduced the possibility to create a unzip file. It's a compacted feature that deletes all the raw data and maintains only the filter examination. It means that you can't modify this examination. When you create this file compactor file, you can't modify the filter. You modify the filter inside your band rate, not whole the examination.
Can we re-average?
Yeah. But if you don't use this feature with our raw data, you can recreate the examination from the zero. You can make it with points or other components. So when you finalize the acquisition, the examination is stored with this type of filter that you have created the examination. So in the vacator potential, we introduced the function of hitting non-activity run measurement has been added to show all button. I think that you know in our software you have the show all to see all the average from the media of the single signal, and this is introduced also in located potential in this type of version of the then we introduce the low bar buttons has been added to overlap trace. The possibility to create a custom measurement has been introduced because in the whole software you can create a custom measurement. Now you can. Then we fix the problem about the compatibility. So here you can find this table, and you can see. Yeah.
Sì, ma io non ho fatto delle ginette, lo leggi con la stessa.
No.
Cioè non ho un sistema collegato a un comune.
No, vuol dire che l'hanno già
Dalla stazione di lettura leggono la 370 la 420.
Vuol dire che l'hanno convertita già a 190.
Con la 371, sì.
Quell'esame lì.
Cioè registrato con la 420, riletto con la 371.
Non so. E ti dico che funziona. No, vuol dire che quell'esame in particolare sta già convertito in 390.
Dico che è collegato.
Poi vediamo, ma no, appunto.
Cioè l'unica stazione di lettura che con la 371 avevamo il dubbio che non funzionasse. Adesso mentre leggevo sta roba mi è facilmente.
Fammi vedere.
Invece sulla 420 il prodotto di aggiornamenti che aveva fatto Bologna a Moccalieri. Io mi ricordo che se avevi la 430 dalla 420 non riuscivi a dettagliare, stavo sistemato con la produzione delle spacche. Per fiancare sì, potevi. Non te la privati dalla prova, abbiamo dovuto installare la 430 sulla stazione no, erano casini precedenti. Sì. No,
tutti dovuti adesso che cazzo di intermedio
installate così.
Qui si parla di cose ufficiali, quel decreto ufficiale funziona. Infatti anche quella 371 mi torna poco.
No, ma ne sono sicuro, non ho installato la 430 ma la 420 sicuro c'è sugli acquisitori perché sono arrivati nuovi, è un aggiornamento questo. E hanno una stazione di lettura con la 371 e loro leggono gli solo e non la video non ne hanno.
Dici una cosa che cambierebbe tutto il mondo.
Ed è l'unica macchina che ha la 371, le altre non la 390.
Dopo se ne parla. So, your colleague is an Italian agency that can't follow the other week our inputs for the Italian and is present today with you. Ask me some question about this. So, if you have Galilean till line photo 3 and you create the next examination, you can read the right part of the table. You can read with Galilean line for the 3. But if you have Galilean line for the 2 and you create the next examination, you can read with Galilean line for the 3 and for the 2. And also, you can create for video G with Galileo 4.2 or 4.3, you need Galileo 4.2, 4.3. You can read this examination also with Galileo 4.10, but you have a problem with Galileo 9.3.9. So to read this type of EG examination, you need that your whole system in the hospital have Galileo Life 3.9 service pack D plus dedicated patch for the compatibility. Or if you want, you can install the service pack A. Then we release this service pack A that introduces some fixing about this 9 version and use the compatibility, the possibility to examination. So in Galileo,
A is more used than STEP.
yes, you can install service pack B plus this dedicated patch or just A. But if you have a new system, the Linux Live 4.3, but you want to use the whole MG software, you can. We don't optimize it because we need and we want that you use the next software, the new software. But in some hospitals, some doctor, we know that it's a problem to force this type of upgrade with some doctor. And you can use the new software with the old MG software, the old our MG software. But this type of software is dismissed for us. So we don't fix bugs, fix any type of bugs that you can find in this type of software. In reality, this type of software is the same software that you can find in Galileo 3.71. The same. For this reason, if you create a new software, a new examination with MG NT, you can reopen it with 3.71. Okay. Also, the evocator potential hold software, you can use it in the new software. We don't suggest you to use it, but for the same reason, if you have some problem with some doctors, you can use it. And this type of software, it's the same version that you can find in 3.9. It's the same. For this reason, you can reopen it also with this type of software. Okay, so then we fix some bugs in the database, in the HGNet, in the NetBrain software, and in Next. This is a bug list. I don't read this for you. If you want, you can read this when you are in the order if you want, or in your own. But it's important to give you this information to you because you can filter the information and the bugs list that the doctors give you. You can check if it's fixed or not. This type of software. Okay, so also in HGNet, ICUNet, Next, you can find all of these type of bug lists. Okay, so I talk about the release note of Galileo NT Live 4.3. I take this opportunity to show you the feature dedicated about the GDPR, the GDPR feature, the GDPR implementation. In our new Galileo NT Live 4.3, you have the possibility to manage, thanks to this type of license. I show you, which is the license that. So I show you here. One moment. I show you from here. It's a little tricky. If you want to see the list of our feature, you can go in the folder installation. You search for Fitbit. This is the list of our feature. It's the same list that you can see from here. I have a license problem. I can try to fix my license because I use it for many installation. I don't know now which type of terminal I have here. No. So then we restart this with you to show you the installation there. Anyway, in our list of the feature, you have this database advanced security. This is the feature that enable the GDPR feature and support in our database, in our Vidyard Recording for the tree. This is under payment. And this feature enables the possibility to manage what? This. The database encryption with this type of algorithm encryption of the database, because before our software database is unclear. If you are a very smart database administration and you know how Firebird works, Firebird engine works, and you know how the database works, you are able to go inside our table and inside our table. For the GDPR policy regulation, now we introduce the possibility to create an encrypted database, and you can open it. You can open it only if you don't have the Vidyard software. These are the main important things that we introduce with the GDPR company. Also, we introduced the so this is in Italian anyway. The communication security. I think that you know when you connect to the database from a client PC to other PC, this type of communication is created via LAN communication. Is created via TCP/IP communication, and it means that this type of communication is unclear also. And with Vidyard Line for the tree, we introduce the security of encryptment protocol via TCP. Also, the data that go through this system are encrypted. You can open if you have you can in the past you can connect inside and you can recognize the camera when move to this side. No. Also, we have introduced, but in reality, anyway, you can use all type of profiling of the user. We have the service, the doctor, the technical, and the reader. We have 4 types of profiling that allow you to specify the username and password about the technical or the doctor that wants to use the software. For the same reason that you need to manage sensitivity data about the privacy, I needed to give you the access to our database in according to your username. With this GDPR implementation, you need to manage it with dedicated hatches. You can use it on anonymous hatches, for example, mask or like our whole software. Mask don't identify the person that has the hatches in this database. you need to specify username and password for Riccardo Basti, Mirko, okay? And you need to use the profiling about this type of you can have the reader, you can read on the database, you can have the writer, you can create only the new examination, you can create and read also. You can have the master is the doctor, you can modify, you can create the report, you can close the report, you can reopen the report and close again, and then you have the service profile. The service is your account, or service, and with the service you can modify also the system configuration. So we introduce the login and the user password. It's a little complicated minimum requirement. Must is not okay. Okay. So we introduce the automatical logout for inactivity. So if you leave the software and you don't work with the software after, by default is 5 minutes. After 5 minutes that you don't nothing in the software, the reality line show you a screensaver. And to remove the screensaver, you need to insert the new username and password, or the same password that you use the software now, or if you want the other username and password that is authorized to access to the database. So, for example, the other laptop now show you the screensaver. So I leave the database open, but I don't use it, and for the privacy, I show you this type of screensaver. So,
but hope during recording it will not come out.
Yeah.
Review.
Yeah, you can. So this system can record me under this screensaver. All the works without problem.
But we can disable it.
Yeah. I repeat that all this feature is not mandatory, but we think that it's important that you know that the Vidyard this feature, because some feature, not whole, but some feature you can use it in your country for improve the selling about our system, because it's a very, very skilled feature about the here in Italy, we win all the tenders for this feature. In last years, we will make a very, very big improvement of the selling about this judicial implementation. Other systems can't don't want to put attention to this, but in our tender in Italy and in Europe, we see all tenders asking for the GDPR component. And this is that are very, very important also if you can take the opportunity to explain the doctor and use to make the difference about other customers. So we have automatical log and audit channel. Any things that you create, manage, delete inside the database, create a log file. Inside the database, there is a dedicated table that has all about the whole user and about the whole examination that are created, modified, or deleted. This is the story of the database. You can see whole. Typically, I think that the historical dealers in your life, some doctor ask you, I don't find my last examination is disappear. Now you can tell to the doctor which is the doctor or the technician that delayed this file. It's not disappear. It's delayed by someone. Now you know which is the user that delayed the file. In the past, it's must.
Only the time and date.
So I have some problem with the the first words in Italian. Anyway, reporting and tracing record. About the record, we introduced the possibility to create the trace. You have the versioning about the report. You can modify the report, but every modification that you create creates a version. You can recognize all the versions that you have created. This is mandatory for the GDPR regulation, but also is a big cap for your report. Some doctor want you to the whole report because the modified can use this. So we introduced the disaster recovery feature. If you want, you can ask it to the dedicated key that you can leave connected to the PC system, and the software use this key to store whole configuration. If the software is going crash, you can use this key. Inside the key, you can find the image about the system, how the Ibinero send the when the Ibinero send the system to you. You can use this image to restore the system like the Ibinero system, and then you can start the import about the last configuration. This is mandatory also for the GDPR. It's mandatory to have a procedure about disaster recovery. Our procedure, if you want, is there is a key with inside the key you have the image by the original system, and this key is upgraded for with the last configuration that the doctor used, with the last preset, with the last montage, with the last configuration.
So the key should be present with the system always.
Yeah.
So we had all separately.
If you remove the key, the software don't create this backup.